These are old printers, computers, and phones, and this machine's shredding them to be recycled. There are hundreds of tiny pieces hidden in every device, from toxic materials to plastic to gold, and they each have to be separated and recycled individually. Such precision takes lots of people, space, and heavy-duty machines, with a good deal of feminine power. And if everything goes right, there's lots of money to be made.
We'll pull off the pieces which will be of value.
That's Ingrid, president of Sims Lifecycle Services, one of the largest e-recyclers in the US. Ingrid took us through her biggest facility to see how it's repurposing or recycling up to 6 million pounds of old electronics every month.
So we're in Laverne, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville. This is a 200,000 square foot facility where we focus on receiving, processing electronics.
Sims mainly gets electronic waste from office gear, like laptops, computers, printers, or phones.
We have Fortune 500 companies like HP and Lexmark, insurance companies, banks.
The rest of its clients are secret, but Ingrid can tell us what happens to these devices once they get here.
Reuse, repurpose, re-engineer if we can't reuse it. Very last resort is recycling. What you see here is where we first get the material in. It's a FIFO type of process, first in, first out. That's how we work it. Here she's offloading a truck, so she'll go in, get her forks into the pallet and pull it out. This must have come from an office refresh. It looks like there's some old DVD players, some old stereo equipment.
The first stop, the scale.
Then they will get the weight and input it into our data center. And that's what Drew is doing over there with the computer. Then it gets tagged with a barcode. It'll tell us whether we go to destroy, recycle, or we go to reuse.
The building's broken up into recycling on the right and reuse on the left. We'll start here.
If we can reuse it and reuse the parts, then you're not making a new part. So this is the part harvesting area for laptops. Sometimes when you can't sell the whole laptop, we can remove parts from it and either rebuild a laptop to sell or sell the parts.
To get all these tiny pieces out of a device without hurting them, it takes a lot of skill and
different screws, a lot of different screws.
So much of it still needs to be done manually and to do it properly, and that's very labor intensive.
Memory units, processors, screens, keyboards, and motherboards can all be reused. Workers will clean them, check that they're functioning, and send them back into inventory to be sold again.
Lots of times when we're allowed to sell units, we'll do revenue share with it. So we'll share revenue with the client. So that's kind of a nice way to add life to the electronics and then also get some revenue back.
Big hard drives pulled from computers or servers are another moneymaker, but they come with an added challenge of security.
You can see the fence up. You need a key card to get in. I don't know if I have access. Oh, I do. So here is where you'll see the higher value material.
Any stored data has to be wiped before a drive can be resold.
We have a lot of banks and insurance companies as our clients, so you can well imagine that those folks want their data erased properly. This is where you'll see some of the wiping going on of the hard drives. At the end here, these have already been done, so they're ready to go to the next step to get resold. So our drives will sell wholesale or on eBay. You can see these guys are deemed for eBay. So you'll see 1 terabyte, 500 gigabytes, all different size drives. These smaller drives, there just isn't any value in it anymore.
So if something's simply not worth Sim's time to refurbish, it's sent to be recycled.
On the other side is destroy, recycle. And over here, we have a lot of folks that are depackaging and also removing hazards.
This part's called demanufacturing.
So we'll remove hazards, batteries, and all that type of thing before it goes to be shredded. On this side,
there's a lot of hazardous materials in electronics, like mercury, cadmium, and lead. And if devices end up in landfills, that bad stuff could do major damage to groundwater and soil.
This is what we want to ensure does not go into the shredder because this could be really dangerous for fire. If we leave toner in there, I mean, it goes up like nothing. Toner
O que
is
você achou?
And then the plastic
Não esqueça de
acts
comentar
as a
e se
fuel
inscrever
source.
no
That's
canal.
our biggest challenge.
Até o próximo vídeo.